In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to create a 3D animated intro. So here you can see I'm creating a box, and I put some loop cuts in it so I can regress the middle. That way we can create a computer screen. And I'm just creating some cubes and shaping them so I can use that as a stand. I'm scaling these by clicking S on the keyboard and either X, Y, or Z, depending on which axis I want to scale it on. Then I create the base, and I selected the bottom portion and scale that out to make it have a bevel. And I create the keyboard, do the same thing. And here I just create a spacebar by creating a square, shaping it down to be a rectangle and moving in place. And here I'm adding a light so the screen can glow. Then I'm using a picture for a reference. Now we're going to texture it. I'm texturing it by selecting it in object mode, then going to edit mode, and clicking UV unwrap by clicking U on your keyboard. Here I just selected the middle and add color. Now I'm going to create a loop cut, so I can add another outer layer color. And I select the inside where I'm going to add some highlights. And then I just copied that same texture and put over it. Then here I'm doing the keyboard. So I selected the keyboard, and I just added base color to it. Now I'm adding more around the edges. Now I've duplicated the edge and made it bigger so I can add another shade. Here I just selected the whole base so I can texture it all at once. And I'm creating a mouse, so I took a cube, lowered it, put a loop cut down the middle, and made it taller, and then I kind of rounded it. Then I added a square, put a loop cut in it, and drop it down the middle so I can have the buttons. Here I'm creating the mouse wheel, so I created a cylinder, made it thin, and rotated it so it fits properly. Then I'm texturing the mouse wheel first. Then I selected the whole mouse, went back to texture mode, and I could texture it. And I textured the mouse buttons differently, so I just selected those. Here I'm adding the text. So you have to create one letter at a time so you can animate them the way I'm going to do it. So I created one letter at a time, selected all of them, and moved into place. And I created the next set of words, one letter at a time. Then I made them bigger by right-clicking and clicking extrude size. Moved into place. And here I'm creating a light so it doesn't look too dark. I've just added a spotlight. And I continue to add the last bit of words, one letter at a time. Made it wider by right-clicking and clicking extrude size, moving it into place by rotating it. Trying to decide where I'm going to put it. Made everything bigger by highlighting it all, clicking S on the keyboard. Here I'm moving around the camera. I went to camera view by clicking 0 on the keyboard. And I rendered just one frame of it to see how it would look. Then I added a sun. That way it would make it brighter, because I didn't have enough light. Now I'm animating the camera by inserting two keyframes. One at frame 1 where I want it to start, and one at frame 250 where I want it to end. Then I retextured the mouse a little bit, watched it, make sure it looked how I wanted it. Then I animated each letter individually, so I would put where I wanted it to be to end up, and I'd keyframe it. And then I would go back to the start where I wanted it to start, and it would fill in the blanks using in-betweens. Then I put the L's going the same time but slightly offset. Same thing for the random. I went and added one letter at a time. And these are flying from different directions, so you can see you can do it from wherever you want. And they're just floating behind the camera until then, so you don't have to move them anywhere else. Now I'm animating how I want the tutorials to go in. So first I created a arch, how I want it to be, and then I flipped it by rotating it and inserting keyframes. I scaled it, clicking S on the keyboard, and drag your mouse. In here I'm adding a background, so I just created a plane, scaled it, clicking S, and then put in the background, and then textured it. I had to raise it a bit. And here you can see the shadows of letters. I didn't want you to see that, so I moved them a lot farther away, keyframed it, and then brought it back, keyframed it, and then one frame after that, I moved them down to where I wanted them to start and keyframed it. And here I'm having the letters just move a bit. Now I'm trying to have the tutorials bounce, so I'm raising one letter at a time and trying to find the best look for it. So I was going through, trying to make it flow properly. I was originally going to have it at just a diagonal, then I changed it so they're kind of arched and wiggling. And then I added a cube, cut it down the middle, or you can just duplicate it, and Shift D on the keyboard, moving it to the sides of the camera. That way you won't be able to see it until I wanted you to. And then I animated it sliding in front. So I had to lengthen the amount of frames it ends. So in the bottom right where it says end, I changed it to 300. And then I textured the two cubes, they're black. Here it is.